Okay, we have Coach Venables here. He's going to go straight to questions. We'll start here on the left side, third row.
Good afternoon, Coach.
How are you doing?
AP Stedham, AP as we see it. Coach, when did you identify John Mateer and Jaden Knott as two dynamic offensive players that you were pursuing?
I can't even remember the exact week or day, for both of those guys. But obviously, John was sooner than Jaden. Their timelines were different. But sometime after John put himself in the portal, certainly I knew about John because I'd already hired his offensive coordinator from Washington State. But sometime right after he put himself in the portal, was able to get on the phone with them and to kind of start that courtship. And then Jaden, I think Jim Nagy he knew about him, and so there was some type of a relationship. I think Jaden maybe had considered coming out, and Jim had him targeted to be a Senior Bowl type of guy. And then when he put himself in the portal, we were able to instantly get a hold of him and start that courtship as well, and so that's how that happened.
Left side, front row.
Hey, Coach. Jacques Doucet, WAFB in Baton Rouge. LSU's never played at Oklahoma before. I know that's way down the line. But for fans going, what can they expect when they go see a game there? And just your thoughts on hosting them.
Yeah, I think the people of Oklahoma, they're blue collar, super welcoming. And they can be vicious too. Don't get me wrong. You want that too, right? And but it's a game day atmosphere in the community that has a lot of pride. Doing things the right way. Obviously, rich history and tradition, 26 straight years of selling out since 1999. So again, the passion, the energy, the love that they have for their program is real. And if Oklahoma's playing well, they're going to be really, really loud. So, but it'll be a great. And as a matter of fact, Mike Houck, our associate AD for sports information, told me that we have several teams coming to Oklahoma for the first time, and LSU certainly to finish the season being there. So we look forward to having them in town. And hopefully it's not too hospitable, but I wouldn't be surprised if it is.
Second row, and then pass it to your left, please.
Coach, Richard Holdridge, Sports Vision's 92.1, Columbus, Georgia. What was your takeaway playing the first year in the SEC?
Oh, that's how long you got? No, in many ways, it was exactly like I thought. And again, it's a one-possession league. It's a league that's determined at the line of scrimmage. There's elite players on every single team that you're going to play at every single position that you're going to play. If you show up on a Saturday and you're not ready to play, you're going to get it handed to you. I know this, that if you give it, give the ball back more than you take it away, you're gonna have a hard time winning. And just elite coaching and elite players across the board. The venues, which I anticipated. I've been to several places, but to go as a head coach at Oklahoma first time, obviously, I think the average SEC attendance is a nation-leading 79,000 and some change, and every patch of grass is occupied when they kick off on a Saturday. So the venues were fantastic. They're just what they're made up to be. And the margin for error is really, really small. That's what I know. But competitive depth, I think top to bottom, is really, really good. And whether or not that's matched in college football, I'll let you all figure that out. But it's really good.
Right side, second row.
Alex Byington on three. Brent, a lot was made of you taking over the defensive play call in this upcoming year. Obviously, you have a long history of doing that. What was that? Was there anything tangible, different approach, different way you handled the offseason, knowing that was going to be a lot more on your plate with regarding the defense?
Well, yeah, there's obviously going to be some changes, differences, particularly in spring ball and everything leading up to it. Just self-scout and studying for always what's next, and then looking at opponents, and then everything that is involved with strategy and development during the actual spring ball, what we do in the summer, things like that. Some of it's the same, some of it's different, and then I think that what that's like. I've always been involved, same defensive system since I've been there, and so in many ways it's just like riding a bike, if you will, and but it's been a lot of fun, and we've got we're going to be successful on defense. It's going to be because collectively our staff, the collaboration, like it's always been. And then again, I know that we've got great leadership on the offensive side of the ball, and so when I'm doing things on the defensive field and I can't be on the offensive side, knowing that we have great leadership and alignment with what everything needs to look like. But there's also, as I've hired 2 linebacker coaches, an inside and an outside linebacker coach, that's allowed me to be able to continue to be a part of the offensive identity and development, culture, those types of things, where I can be supportive and help in any way that I can as the head coach. I know the NFL, well over half the head coaches in the NFL call their own side of the ball. Several coaches, very successful coaches in our conference, do the same. So, I looked at what some of the options were, and maybe I didn't get the very first choice I wanted. It was an easy decision in many ways, and and collectively, all of us together on defense, it's been really good transitionally.
Third row, and then pass it to your right, please.
Yeah, John Williams, Sooners Wire, USA Today Sports. Jaden Knott was a late addition in the transfer portal. You didn't get him in spring ball, but what have you noticed from him and turning on the tape? How can he help a really promising running back room that you already had?
Yeah, great humility, tremendous work ethic. He's a people person. He's a little quiet, but he's connected well, and is mature beyond his years, in my opinion. He's got the ability to carry a lot on his shoulders, and I'm off the field, on the field. He's got a wonderful family, really supportive. He chose to come to Oklahoma. He wanted to be pushed. He wanted to be challenged, and he wanted to be in an environment where, there's a lot of people moving in the same direction, where guys are ambitious and driven, and that's his testimony. And there's a lot more intense. The summer, the work that the player run practices, things of that nature, a lot more competitive and things like that, or things that he'll probably share with you when you get a chance to visit with him. And but it's been great. I thought, again, Javonte Barnes has done a wonderful job of helping Jaden transition, along with the rest of the guys on offense. It takes more than just that, but JB recognizes when you bring in somebody of the caliber of Jaden, that only helps everybody, helps the offense, helps his opportunities. We're going to have a successful season. You can't do it with one running back by any stretch. And so whether it's Xavier Robinson or Taylor Tatum, Torrey Blaylock, that's a wonderful group of running backs that have welcomed him with open arms.
Right side on the end.
Hey, Coach. Johnny Condon, ABC 3340 Sports in Birmingham. Was talking to some of your players, and they made no secret how big that Alabama win at home was for you guys last year as far as morale and maybe a jumping-off point heading into this fall. Just can you share how big that was in totality for your season, and how excited are you and your team to get to Bryant-Denny to try to replicate it in Tuscaloosa?
Excited to go to Tuscaloosa. I'm a coach. I'm a loyalist, traditionalist. So I love that part of it, but there'll be nothing loving about going to Bryant-Denny Stadium. Been there before with Oklahoma a long time ago in the early 2000s, but beautiful venue. It's going to be a tremendous challenge. Alabama fans are as good as it gets. And in regards to the timing, as I've said earlier, again, the end of the 23 season, 10-2 in the regular season, we lost all 5 starting offensive linemen, a really good top 5 offense, and 4 went to the draft and 1 went to the portal. And so we were starting over, and then next thing you know, 4 of the top 5 offensive line starters were in and out. We had 10 different starting lineups throughout the year. Certainly, it's been well documented. Our top 6 receivers missing most of the year. And so there was a lot of real struggle that happened. Confidence, morale, all of those things, continuity, sequencing, rhythm. Man, it was messy. And but we had a lot of young players that were, through that opportunity, were afforded an opportunity to play, compete, and incrementally get better. And yeah, it maybe didn't necessarily equate to a win, but maybe it was Ole Miss where, you know, we had just shy of 200 yards rushing in the first half against the #1 rush defense in college football. And but we couldn't, you know, the problem with last year's offense, once we kind of turned a small, slight corner, was we couldn't push the ball down the field and create any kind of explosive plays. Lost that game 26-14, and lost a heartbreaker against Missouri on the road, you know, just by turning the ball over, and we couldn't get out of our own way. But I think that game against Alabama, if it showed a lot of different things to me. It showed what we're capable of when we get out of our way. It showed a team that believed in you know, one another and certainly themselves and their coaches. And it showed a team that showed a lot of guts and toughness to do the really hard stuff, keep dragging yourself off the mat, claw your way back, figure it out, find a way, punch first, punch back, punch last, that type of a mentality, even when a lot of things aren't going your way. And I think that I think the pressure and adversity exposes people. And for me, I thought it exposed, you know, a lot of the best qualities, you know, that are in our locker room. And I also think that, all right, just incremental. I think that was a game that maybe highlighted the incremental, not significant, but the incremental improvement that was taking place with a bunch of young guys. At one time in the first half, I froze the tape on Sunday, and we had 9 freshmen on the offensive side of the ball, 9. And so that's pretty. It wasn't a badge of honor. Certainly, we recognize the ability and, you know, the talent and the capabilities of a program like Alabama. But for us, I think it provided a little bit of wind in our sail. And unfortunately, we go on the road to LSU, and start of the fourth quarter, it's 24-17. We couldn't figure out how to get it done. So that being said, you know, they'll be waiting for Oklahoma. That's for sure. But you know, I do think that you can take some things from that without question.
Left side, second row.
Dan Peck, ESPN 106.7 in Auburn. Coach, it's a sign of the times in modern college football that a guy who started games for you last year at quarterback could be on your schedule this year as an opponent. Your memories of Jackson Arnold, what kind of player is Auburn getting, and advantages and disadvantages of facing a player you know so well early in the season?
Yeah, I love Jackson, love his family. Sharon and Todd, they're amazing people. Hate that, you know, what happened. We wanted to keep him. We tried to keep him. But I think he just needed a fresh start. I don't want to speak for him. But he was wonderful. Never once was I disappointed in him. He handled one of the toughest moments of his athletic life in an amazing first-class way. And I know this without reservation. He's going to play this game a long time at a really high level. And unfortunately for him, you know, everything around him wasn't helping him, you know, be successful. So he had no chance in some ways under the circumstances, and dealt a really bad hand. But advantages, disadvantages, he'll be a different player. Circumstance, there'd be nothing the same. The only good thing for us is it's in Norman, and but they are a very talented football team. Hugh Freeze is one of the best coaches in college football. He's a wonderful offensive coordinator, and he'll put him in position to be successful. And they got tremendous football players, both sides of the ball. They got a great staff, an elite staff.
One last quick question to the right.
Yeah, Jeff Howe on Texas football. Coach, you mentioned coaches that call their own plays. Sark does that at Texas. Just your thoughts on getting to compete against Sark and Red River the last few years. And
getting
then
what?
Just your thoughts on competing against Sark, play caller to play caller.
Yeah.
And then, you know, what makes his offenses, you feel like, so tough to defend?
Yeah, I go back all the way. We competed against Sark when he was a quarterback at BYU, and we were at Kansas State in the Cotton Bowl. I think that was 1996. Man, he is a great competitor. great leader. He's a wonderful offensive coordinator. His play design is elite. He knows how to make it look like they're doing a lot and keeping a lot of the same principles and schemes. But yeah, I love it. I love the challenge. I've always have. Faced him when he was at Alabama. And so he has a long history of admiration and respect for the product that he puts out there, and it's always a great challenge. But something that we, without question, look forward to.
Coach, thank you very much for your time.
Appreciate it.